And so in the locust tree, the sun is peeping through the locust tree.
The scockle.
The scockle mango. She says scockle?
Yeah.
Oh.
And loads of soursop and sugar apple, eh?
Yeah, when all they want, when it's bearing, just come to Dan Jackson. Mangoes.
They have to request.
Well, yeah.
We're selling.
Of course it's selling, so you have to come to him. Avocados.
Yes, yes.
Loads.
Yeah.
And coconut. Well, I'm going to look for coconut.
So that Jackson has it all, eh?
He has it all.
Oh, you have coconut first?
Water.
Yeah!
You bring the rum?
Yeah. No, maybe. Yes, I'll take one for the gas.
I ain't have rum, you have to bring your own rum.
That's okay. We have in the vehicle.
You have rum?
We have in the vehicle.
A high man like you, Danny, you have rum?
Well, Mr. Gardner,
All right.
put it this way, he done.
He done. Right.
And we got the tools, yeah? We've been working very hard.
This is my garden tools.
Yes.
Yes.
So, Mr. Jackson, how are you doing this morning?
Fine, thank you.
You're
very
great.
Well, very well.
Mr. Jackson, well, since I was a little girl, I know him as my neighbor. Mr. Jackson, what do you remember about me growing up?
Well, I wasn't here when you were born.
Right.
But I arrived here many years ago in 1989 to build my house. And you and your sister Mary and others' family used to visit me because we live across the pond yard from you. And when you come, Mary was very bright and sprinkly, like the joy of spring. But you used to always have your head down and shy.
That's true.
And I used to say to you, you know something, when you grow up, you have to be able to look people in the eye. Like I'm looking at you now and you're looking at me, and you will go like that. And this happened for quite some time. Then I went away again to England, off and on, and come back in a year's time, 11 months. And after about 2 or 3 years, you start spiking up, becoming different. And I must say I'm very happy to see now that you are the field that you're in. What do you call your profession? What is your profession? What is your job?
Well, I work for a Green Tourism Authority as Product Development Officer.
Okay, that's plenty of words for me to use. So
Right.
I'll take
So
it
it requires for me to do public speaking.
Okay, that's good.
Yes.
Good, very good. You think I'll make a job like that as well?
Of course, you're doing very great. You're staring me. Yeah. And the thing about it, basically, I've been telling people that and they don't believe. I've been telling people when I was growing up, I used to walk with my head on the ground. I was very, very shy. They're like, you, I don't believe you. And it is true. And you just testify to that.
Yeah, well,
and
I was the first one who tell you when you grow up and you have to go for a job, you have to stare the man or the woman in his face and tell him what you're here for.
Yes,
I'm looking for a job.
I remember you saying that. I tried, but at those days, I was very shy, I must testify. And you know what assisted me a lot too? This social media, Facebook. Okay. When I started doing Facebook Lives and other things, it assisted me in communicating and being brave.
Yeah, brave,
yeah.
Well, so, you come from a very brave family.
That's true.
Especially your grandfather. Your grandmother was a bit quiet.
Okay.
Cousin Gotti, we used to call her. And she was a bit quiet. But your granddad was noble, I would say.
Yeah. Loud man around the village.
He wasn't a fool. He was speaking sensibly at all times.
Right.
His favorite thing was being the, what do you call him, chairman in wakes and prayer meetings and all that. He was always up the front to give a speech. I think I could remember some of his speech too.
Oh, really?
And if you talking while he's speaking, you know, you have some people that they're rude in a way, they're having a conversation on the side. And you'll ask them quietly to stop speaking, and they'll continue. And you'll give them some harsh words. I wouldn't repeat the words. Really? And then he had a favorite word, he used to say, don't procrastinate.
Don't procrastinate.
Don't
procrastinate.
I'd shove my teeth up.
Yes, I know.
Don't procrastinate me.
Yes.
And if you continue, you'll even get a bit further.
Yes.
So some people think he was rude. I didn't think so because I wanted to know what he was saying.
Right.
But while other people are making joke and laughing, you can't. And I grew up with that in me right now. I just get very annoyed if I'm in a crowd with 3 or 4, and you're trying to tell me a story, and Bessie's trying to tell me something else, and then and everybody talking together. And my problem is, I was in my trade that I learned, I was in the building construction, right? I did some architectural drawing. My favorite was carpentry work. I did garden work, you know, botanical work, and that kind of field. So I have a wide knowledge of the whole world. Where I've been, I was exposed to that. I come back to Carriacou, it's a smaller place, and the things are happening in a smaller way. So I have to calm down myself a little bit to cope with Carriacou changes. The only thing I can understand is why everybody, as I said, 2 donkeys don't bray at the same time.
True.
But that's a favorite thing in Carriacou. Everybody talking about the same time, and everybody know everything.
Because you see, everybody know everybody in Carriacou. So
no,
I think
that not mean nobody. If you talk about driving, I know.
Yes.
You have a story about a ground dove. You know ground dove, what a ground dove is?
Yes, yes.
The bird.
A little bird,
One of the Carriacou.
Yes.
You got the mountain dove, you got the pigeon, doctor bird.
The smaller one.
But the ground dove always build his nest on the ground. Yeah? It's a little joke. A true joke, I think. And the CC boy said to him, ground dove, why are you so stupid? You building your nest on the ground, snake will come and take your egg. You don't see I build my nest on the Zusi tree? Yeah, the ground dove. I know. So some of the people in Carriacou is like ground dove. I know.
They always know.
So it's a joke.
Yes, I know.
It's a true story.
Serious, but to me, I don't really care.
Yeah, it's a joke. And then some people would think that you're rude too.
Yes, but I'm rude.
Oh, you are?
Yes. Could be very rude too.
Sometimes.
Yes, sometimes. But a very polite, very nice, very good man.
Of course.
You ain't tell me that yet, but I know I'm a very good natured man.
Of course, and you're very offerable. You would say, come on and
don't
get
mention that.
Okay.
That's in my book. I got that from my grandmother.
Okay.
Yeah, who I call my mother. Yeah, but some of it rub off.
You grew up with your grandmother?
Well, I lost
think everybody...
my parents. We come into this now. My grandmother was my mother.
Okay.
Because my mother was busy doing her own work. She's school teaching, wherever, breaking down, wherever. And then I grew up with her and lost my grandmother in 1955 when I was 13. It makes me sad. So I lost my parents. I was badly injured.
In 1955. So,
1955.
Hurricane Janet.
22nd of September 1955.
So that was...
Yeah. So it was...
So because of Janet?
Yeah, because when I talk about it, we have some people who say, yes, Dan, I remember when the galvanized flying caught you. That was rubbish.
Okay, so what really happened?
We had... the old house we used to live in was badly constructed.
Okay.
Every time my grandmother had a child, my grandfather had a little piece on it. So we ended up with a big house with no proper construction. The wind came, the hurricane came and blew it down. And she got trapped under a wall. I got trapped with her. I was on her leg. And the last part of her, I remember feeling, was just above her knee. And the last words I heard, she said, oh my God. And I managed to pull out with blood running down. And I spent 3 months in the colony hospital because it more or less scraped the skull. And they couldn't stitch it back. So you have to stay there until it heals up. And when you have a big sore and it's healing up, you know, just take the size of your earring. It was bigger than that. But when the sore become like that, I would a little bit better there. That was at home. So we went down there on the next day after Janet was 22nd, 23rd, 24th. We was a boat called Deerwood came to got us.
So you remember?
Boat,
go ahead.
The boat who come to pick us was called Deerwood, and they anchored way out by Two Sisters. You know where Two Sisters?
Yes. Because
they couldn't come in. There's logs in the water. There's all sorts in the water. So they had to get a little boat dodging through this wood to come and get us. And the people who was damaged badly was the Patterson.
That's the Patterson.
Fred Patterson's children, which is Rena and Jova, one of them. You see, she walks.
Yes, yes.
She was one of them.
Okay.
Teacher Gracie was a Macintosh. I don't know if you know them. Dwight Mother.
Macintosh from where, Mom?
Yeah, I forget the man's name, but you might remember. No, she was Macintosh.
Okay.
From Cherry Hill, but they moved into where Marley's living by the Charles is in Bussage now. So that was, and she was flat out. Carol Patterson, I used to go and stretch his toes for him because I had him in a private walk. Although I was bad, but I could walk.
Okay.
And when I came back, to go to school was a problem. No clothing, no parents. Sad. Real sad. I had a hard life.
Sorry to hear that, Mr. Jack.
I had to make it. And somehow, people is not kind to you. Anything that happened in the village, because I had to move from Bella to go to Grand Bay where my grandmother comes from. And anything that went wrong, that's say Queenie boy, because I went to live with my auntie. They call say Queenie, which is my grandmother's sister. If you're missing a foul leg, it's done. That's say Queenie boy. If the cane missing, say Queenie boy. If you, well, the worst thing I ever did, I burned a young fella with a coach. I heard a man on the radio yesterday giving a story about coach. And I remember, and the guy father gave me such a beating, I never forget it. But now me and him are best friends, I did something wrong.
But let's go back to Janet. Do you remember what transpired on that day?
Well, on that day we went to school as normal. Mr. Bascom was teaching at Mount Pleasant Government School. And the wind was blowing up very hard in the morning because we usually go outside under a tree and read.
Okay, so did you hear anything on the media, on the radio?
We did not have a radio. There was no radio. Okay. No radio. How we heard, I don't know, but lunchtime used to be 12 o'clock. And 1 o'clock you start back school again. And the schoolmaster came out and asked all the children to go home. Okay. So we usually come up to Quarry, you know Quarry? Yes. When we meet in Quarry, the rivers was coming down. We couldn't cross over the river. Well, not river, it was a stream that built up. And we couldn't cross. It was your aunties, your uncles, myself and Leroy and all the little siblings, all the ones who go to Mount Pleasant. So we had to go back down to Mount Pleasant and climb up the hill by the Macintosh, we call it Martinique Hill, and go up to Nega House and go up to Montinel and come across to Bel Air. And when we get to Bel Air, where Seppi is living now, all that land there was figure trees.
They fell?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay.
Trees where people used to go and wind the corn and shell the corn and the peas because it's a shelter. Right. And this tree fell in the middle of the road, and a lady came down and we were laughing, school children. So the lady said to us, "Children, all you go home. It's dangerous." I didn't know what the word dangerous meant. It's dangerous. Anyway, we came home laughing, and Mama said to us, "You have to go and let go the cattle." Because of...
You think they had an idea, like the older people, you think they had an idea what was happening?
They knew what a hurricane was.
Oh, okay.
Because there was a terrible hurricane like that in the 1922, I think.
Okay, so...
But before 1955, there was a hurricane before, but it wasn't that bad. And because our houses was all wattle and dab, you ever what wattle and dab? It's cattle dung and donkey dung there is a mix.
Something like the
with white dirty to daub the house. And you go and you cut the wood in the bush, the water, the thin one, and you build the house in the kitchen from that. Wow. So if rain comes too much, you soak it and you just fall apart. Right. So that's what nearly, I would say 90% of the houses in Carriacou was like that. So the first people who really go into structural house was like Mr. Rupert Logan, Doug and Simon, and those who went to Aruba.
So at what time of the day the winds got really severe and your house collapsed and this incident happened?
Oh, well, we got home about, we struggled, we probably got home about 2 or 3 o'clock. Okay. 3 o'clock. And dinner was served. And so lucky, the first time we eating green corn dumpling for the year.
Okay.
Mom had prepared that for us. And then we decided to take cover. But it get worse. The trees in the ponyard was more or less...
So you was able to see what was happening because it was
yeah,
still bright.
But it's a cloud, but the cloud was moving 90 miles an hour. One way to the other. And the wind was coming up from the west.
Okay.
So we struggled for a little while in the house. And Mama decided we had a little cellar. We'll go outside and go into the cellar. If we did get there, we would be safe.
Okay.
But as we opened the door, the wind just threw us back into the house. And everything collapsed around us. But there is some...
So how many of you was there? You, your mother?
My grandmother, me, Leroy, Doris, Ronnie, and Stephen. 6 of us.
Okay.
All of us were grand.
Right. So were you the only person that got injured? Well, your mother died.
She died, yes.
You got injured. Anything happened to anybody else?
Yeah, but there were small things, like scratches
and
nothing. They didn't have to go to the hospital.
So how did you get assistance?
Well, our good neighbor, which I class as your grandfather, which is called, your grandmother, came to our rescue. Well, she was looking for a rescue herself.
Okay.
Because their house burned down. And it's where Bobbert live now. So they came down, crossed the ponyard, and straight into our land. Well, right there, that house there. Straight into that house. And they were standing against the house, the cistern.
Oh, really?
Because the wind, if you go out in the open, the wind would just blow you away. Right. So they were backing up.
So she and who? Herself and who was it?
Wait a minute. I ended up with one of the youngest boy and a girl called Doris. Doris is alive today. She's in Grenada. Most people know Doris. As they know me and Leroy. So where Ronnie and Leroy was, I don't know. He strayed with a man called Joseph Aki. Somewhere else, some other part of the house. So we didn't know where anybody else. But Cousin Gotti and I'm sure it was Bobbert and Walter, or one of them. Because we strayed, we split up. And she said, children, all your ball. But this time I'm getting weaker because I thought it was rainwater that's coming down in my mouth. So I was sucking on my own blood. Ooh. Sucking on my blood. Probably that was keeping me alive. Oh, wow. So I couldn't shout. So the other children shouted. And who came to our rescue is Uncle James, which is your grandfather. Okay. Because they crossed the road from us. And he said, children, all they come, and we gathered and they bring us in Doug and Simon house. That house there.
Oh, so that was what was
I think
still
that's
there?
the woman had a child the day before called Eloise.
Yes, I know that name.
Yes, she was born the day or the same day.
That's cousin Doug and daughter?
Yeah, but he went in Florida on the orange picking crop. So his wife was there with the two children, a boy and a girl and the young one. Okay. Jeffrey and Jeffrey was children. Yes. And whoever could make it.
So were they upstairs and downstairs?
But everybody was downstairs because all the people who could walk ended up in that downstairs little house there because everybody's house blew away. The only house that didn't blow away is the Maki, because I know they were in a sheltered place. I think Gift Common one was safe. Rupert Logan was probably built in 1952. The roof was gone. The roof was in the road where Mr. Guadalupe living now. Okay. So I would put that to very poor construction at the time. But the roof was over there.
Were there any other deaths in your family?
There was not in my family, but there were 6 people died that night. My grandmother, a lady in Crossroad where this is with the post of Mr. Massey, daughter I think called Dolly Cox. A boy in Cherry Hill, Sentil, I think his name, grandmother named Plummy. Victor, which is Edmund Eman's son. Victor, he was a little bit younger than me, he died. And a baker, I forget his name, but it was the baker, Libon's sister, died in the Seventh-day Church. The Seventh-day Church collapsed. and killed her and injured other people.
Okay.
So
I think
six people died that night, and then the others who died later on.
I think one of our relatives died to someone.
Jill.
Jill Lawrence.
From Mount Royal, yes.
Yes.
So there were 6 tonight.
Okay.
And you know, when you have injuries like that, some who die, but I haven't got any record of who died after.
Yes.
Because it was bad times.
That was sad, Mr. Jackson. Yeah, wow, that was really sad, Mr. Jackson. Yeah.
There's lots of sad stories about my growing up. Too much to mention.
Oh, I remember you saying your friends used to tease you.
Oh, they used to tease me, yes. I had, we call it nicknames. And because the cut in my head was the shape of a quarter moon. You know when the moon is coming up, first quarter, second quarter, they used to call me Janet, they used to call me quarter moon. And then I used to cry.
Yeah.
But I remember what my grandmother used to tell me, boy, anybody who call you a nickname, find a name for them too.
Yes.
So wherever they call me, I find a name and I give them. And
that's worse.
This is where bad.
I know that.
Yes. So I shut up all of them. And you know, there's a thing, The Fugitive. Have you ever seen The Fugitive? It's a man that you couldn't catch. You know, so I was the first fugitive because I keep running
from them quick
from people.
Yes.
You know, I wouldn't mention him, but I remember the lady. I used to be like a little magic man too. I take a nail and I get the matches sulfur and put it in a piece of wood and make a hole. And I call in them children now to come and hear the pay tax. We call it pay tax. And guess who came nearest to me? You wouldn't believe it. My dear loving wife, Alcina.
Oh, really?
And I took the stone and I whacked the nail and oh, we explode. And Alcina was so frightened. I reckon she was about, I was 13, maybe she was about 9 or 10. And she started to bawl.
Oh, gosh.
Because they used to come and collect water. And where I was living, they used to be in charge of the water thing. Anyway, where we were from Granby Beach, it wasn't far. And Alcina's sister and another friend chased me down the road, boy. And I run. And I make a turn, and one of them give me this tap on my shoulder like that. And they started going back up where there was for the water. So I'm walking behind them. They didn't do me anything. They just chased me to get me to give me a flogging, I would imagine. If they didn't catch me,
they would have beat you.
They would have given me a good standing up. Yeah. And this was the damn little stray boy. That's all the talking going up, you know, going up. So they meet my teacher Sammy. They was just Sammy live.
Yes.
His mother, cousin Diana, sitting in the window. She said, "Girl, what happened to you?" No, we just talk. She said, "That damn Queenie boy, he said damn bad." So I had a little chat. You know what the lady said? Cousin Diana said to them, "Oh, you're not worried, they got married."
For real?
When I tell her that a few times, she said, "If I didn't know, I wouldn't have."
What? So that was a blessing for you?
A blessing for me.
She blessed you?
Yeah. But
what?
Another true story,
for
a
real?
little story. I don't know if all you know cousin Derila. This lady was a blessed lady.
Cousin who?
Derila, right? The Macintosh, Punchik mother.
Right, yeah.
They had a lot of kin. And I have to go past every morning to look after my animals. And two of the other guys from the village say, "Let me go and teach some kin." I say, "I ain't going." They tell me to go and sit down on the tree and watch for when Mr. Macintosh coming. For some reason, I didn't turn up. But they went and still the kin. The next morning, I was going, after passing in front of people's house to go to my land where I had my cattle, my sheep. And she said, "Hey, you, say Queenie boy, come here." And she come out in the road and she was kind of worried. She said, "What? Say Queenie boy?" I said, "Yes." She said, "A good looking boy like you, a nice boy, you go and thief Nene cane." I said, "Nene, I didn't thief the cane, I didn't go with them boy, you know." I was true. When I give them guys them joke, they know on the beach, that is laughing.
Yes, of course.
They call me good looking say Queenie boy. She said, "A nice, good looking boy like you go and
But
thief
you're good looking too. Of course, he was a nice, good looking boy. Of course, yeah. So, Mr. Jackson, as one of the elders in the village of Bele, who you remember as a little boy in growing up? Some of the older heads.
I know all of them.
Okay. So,
Starting
from around the road?
from the top, well, those who even dead and gone.
Yes, that's who
You
we
see where the
wanted.
white man built a house on top there? Above Bobot? That lady was called Mama Helen.
Oh, so somebody used to stay up there?
Yes, yes.
Oh, really?
Mama Helen, her name was, and they were Brown.
Mama Helen Brown?
Eddie and Neddy. Eddie Brown. No, he was Papa Neddy.
Okay.
Papa Neddy and Mama Helen. So we used to go up there every morning for sour milk because you used to have a lot of cows. And then you had, as you come down past where Bobot lived now, there was one they called I.E. Farolina Brown. She was an old lady, she used to babysit me. Then you had James Cato, which is with Angel and all the grandmother Catherine. Doug and Billy's house in 1952, so that is a new house. Okay. Then you have Tansisi, which we all they walk in the land.
Okay, right.
Yeah,
where Franklin is
Gossi,
now.
No, the other piece, well, there, yeah.
Yes,
but
around Franklin.
No,
down the
that is the Uncle James land.
Right.
The piece where your mother said, the piece there.
Yes, yes.
That is Sisi, Thomas.
Close to Tinny Grove.
Yeah, that is not all the land. That is,
yes, yeah.
I think Cosbud father is with them people there.
Yes.
So she have a son called Gossi, and she had a boy named Roy. Then you get Gift Kwamina.
Right.
Then you get Tampo, which is Joseph Aki and Mina Demaki. Then you see where the guy repairing just now, Tom Baby?
So you're talking about before Mina house?
Well, the water clustered there.
You
see where the Grenadian girl living now?
Yeah.
That house was Tampo house.
Okay.
Gift Kwamina was down in the bottom where the cistern is.
Right. Under with your mom.
Where the house they're repairing now was Miss Noel. She had some children, Tom Baby. You must have remember Tom Baby. Tom Baby, Isaac, Job. Seppi grandmother.
Right.
Miss Noel, we used to call her.
Yeah.
Then you have the General Big Aki here. They were total musicians.
Oh yes, I heard that.
We used to go, who in the way, Clara, the way? Tell them Bella band coming down. Who in the way, Clara? We're going down and we. So we had to carry, but that time they don't get the money, you know. You have to walk with a flour bag. So they give you bread and cake. So by the time we go to down the village, we go in buses, we go Bogle and we come back up. You need donkey to carry bread and cake, you know.
They could have sing.
Manifest.
Oh God.
And there used to be a little fight between the bands, you know, but I didn't want to finish. So after the market now, you come down and you meet a lady they call Mad Isle and Williamina Cato. That's where Mad Isle, we used to call her Mad Isle and Williamina Cato.
Okay.
She was related to Uncle James. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, they died. And well, the stuff for we're using the land right now. Okay. Where the boy have his pigs. That was my last town. And Mr. Rogers used to be the judges in Bel Air. This is just surveyed.
Oh right, yes, I noticed.
That was Mr. Rogers.
Okay.
And then Eileen was in the Eileen. That land where Eileen is, her mother bought it.
Okay. Tammy.
Yes. And then that became their land.
Okay.
And then when the girl built the next house, was Marcel also, Tan's sister.
Tan's sister.
Yeah. And then where Guadalupe is now, that was cousin June and Charles Aki and Sarah Aki. But when they did not have any children, so Gift Kwamina took over and look after them and bury them. So the land is passed over onto him. And also the land behind the park where Congo man is working, that's the land as well. Okay. So now Gift Kwamina children are now taking over from, so it's a Kwamina land. Okay. But the own land is at the back there. Just over because of Vanjio.
Right, yes, I remember. I think Monica used to be somewhere in the back.
After where Seppi is living now, that used to be a Bella Baker, Miss Una Brown.
Not cousin Unita.
But cousins I grew up with that lady.
Okay.
And then just behind there was a house where I know them Logan used to before the builders. Okay. And then you had Miss Grant.
So that lady used to be good?
Well, good or no good.
That's the baker.
But listen,
I know that way you used to buy stuff.
Listen, Mark, let me get another nice joke about my grandfather.
Yeah.
He got blind. He was a very clever man, he used to do ministerial work. I can't tell you all the story, but he used to say to me, "Sonny boy, come here to me." And he give me 4 pennies. And he said, "Go to Unibrang and get me a 4-penny buns." She used to make 4 pence buns, 2 pence buns and penny buns. So when I come back now, he said, "Hurry up. I'm throwing water on the ground. I wanted to dry before you come." So I hurry down the road and shooting back up in my roller, man. Out of breath. I give him. Papa started to eat the bread. Give me a penny, tell me to go by Tangle and buy a penny sugar. Tangle used to sell sugar, wet sugar, and go and pick a lime, make a, what do you call it again, sweet water.
Okay.
No ice, you know.
That's
In a 5-pound butter tin, and he just sipping and eating. And he said, he would say, we touching him. Papa, to remind him that we didn't. Yeah, Papa. Who beg, shan't get. And who don't beg, don't want.
So y'all didn't used to get?
Well, listen, after he finished now, he'll give me a penny. He said, "Boy, go and buy your own buns." So I said,
have to go back.
So I said, "Papa, why didn't you give me the penny? Where are you going?" He said, "Talk posh, you know. I'm afraid you would have come back in time."
Because you like to sit on
You're going to play marble.
Because you get yours already.
You can get yours already.
And he also teach me not to thief.
Okay.
Because when he gets his pennies and that, he used to put it on the ledge. So stupid me now go and take the 4 pence to go and buy buns. I didn't get very far. "Donald!" Okay, he blind now and he's feeling unsure. There is no money. "Come here to me." He said, "You see these 5 fingers? I'll put you over my lap and I'll give you 1 spank and there'll be 10 because this is 5 and 5 will leave on your bottom." He says, "Did you take up the money, sir?" At the and hour. He said, "Did you?" I said, "Yes." He take back the money, put it in there and he counted 4. He said, I forget what something stealing he called it. He said, "You should not steal anything, you ask for it." And he said, "If you take 1 penny, I probably wouldn't know, but you take all."
So why would you take all though?
Well, it's 4 pence.
4 pence for the buns.
But the 4 pence,
But you have 1 cent bun too?
No, you want that one.
The penny give me when I come back. But when I see the money, then I know I was going to buy buns. I take all the money to go and buy the 4 pence buns for me and we stand them to eat it. But he caught me before I leave, before I even move out of the house. So I was well caught. So that taught me not to thief.
Yes.
If a thief in,
But
if
did
a
he beat
thief,
you?
okay. When a thief now, a thief is very smart.
You
So
won't take.
I ain't taking all. I'm taking 1.
One.
Yes, you take a leave for tomorrow.
I can't know the boy up with. We're making 1 lick.
1 lick, yeah.
Yes.
Listen, in the people in Bel Air, I didn't hear you call cousin Vanjie,
Well,
Clara, and
there wasn't
Marcel.
classes, but there were low say. Although it's in
Well, low say Vanjie.
where cousin Noelle and where what the girl we shop name again?
Gail.
Gail and cousin Vanjie, and they were classes low say.
Right, low say.
So at that time I didn't know the difference. When my
Okay.
grandmother sent me in low say, I think it's another big village you're going to.
So now we say wrong the road.
I'll take a walk. But you see again, we used to be, you see behind where Pond up where Becca and them living, they say Long Breast used to live there, so it's Jombi, we're afraid to go there.
Okay. And back then I have no electricity.
No job, they're
Still
selling
don't.
fish at 1 o'clock in the day, so as children, we ain't going there.
Friend.
And that's where Obia come into.
Yes, yes.
All that is rubbish. Obia and Jombi and Long Breast Lizzie. That is
like that.
foolishness. All this foolishness.
They just didn't want you to go to those places.
Exactly.
So they give
So
you a
where
story.
Where the Staffords are down there now, where they settled
That
down there.
was another
Not in-
Jombi spot. Nobody used to go there. I remember Cat Lang there one time when I even passed it.
Oh really?
But now I give it a new name, Stafford Avenue.
Okay, Stafford
Yes.
Avenue.
But they know it. Did tell them when
They go yet to cover now.
Stafford Avenue. Yes.
Okay, and then Marcel. Look the house.
Mr. Marcel was a man I knew when he came back from Aruba
Okay.
about 19.
I always wondered if he was from Bel Air.
No, Mr. Marcel's from Bogus.
Okay.
You know where they make the maroon? By Vibe out there? You have a little spot there. In modern name, say Pet.
Okay, say Pet.
Yeah, Pet. Petite used to call her. And she does, she was a great rum drinker.
Okay.
But she never see a drunk.
She was a really great drunk.
Yeah, well, in the old age, as I know, I used to go and visit her. Her son, which is cousin Isaac, will buy a quarter of rum in the morning, and she'll have a drink before breakfast. And that will be divided up in equal portions for the last drink before she go to bed at night.
Wow.
She was a noble woman, very quiet. I didn't know when she was young, but Mr. Isaac used to blaze it.
Okay.
So I take some of that from him too. And my uncle and them, you know, drink today, drink with all this, there is no blinking drinking after that. You ever hear that one? Drink today, drink tomorrow. Drink with all your sorrows. There is no blinking drinking after that.
Wow.
That was an old man's speech.
Of course.
Yeah, and why you right hand no, left hand no.
Right.
But it's a message they send us, especially men, you know.
Of course.
Because men think they could go on forever.
Yeah.
You know,
and
in every way.
You know, Dan is a man of a lot of speeches, eh?
Of course.
There's another story.
No, I come into that just now. And then Clara.
Cousin Clara, yeah, she was a quiet lady.
Okay.
She had a little sufferings with family things.
Okay.
But her children was nice. So the Victor, Monica.
Yeah.
Monica took a little bit of the warrior thing too, because sometimes she talking to me, sometimes she ain't talking to me. I think she did like me.
Yes, I think so too. She was in love with you. I love her too. I love her like money. That's my mommy. Yeah, okay. I miss her though. I miss her in the village. Cousin Monica. Every time I see her, I tease her. Cousin Monica.
They were quiet. They were nice. They were nice.
Of course.
We used to call them turkeys. You know why?
Why?
I did from about 4 of them. More than that, but I know up to Edward and Nelson, nothing. And they used to go to Mount Pleasant School. So when they're coming up, the big one is in front. Walking like, and wherever they put the foot, the next one put the foot, and they're going up in a row. So we used to call them turkey.
Yeah, that's how turkey walks.
Turkey walks, but that was a play thing.
Yes. Yeah. Listen, now you told me about someone introduced a famous quote that we have today. Someone from Bella introduced it.
Your grandfather?
No, something about Bella smile.
Oh.
Yes.
The same lady with the shop always used to go and buy the penny wet sugar. Uncle James' wife.
Yes. Tangeli?
Tangel, we used to call her. I don't know which part of Carriacou she's from, or she's from a different country. But Bella is known to be the smallest village in Carriacou.
Right.
So when she came and started living here, and the Bella people got giving her grief, you know, bothering her, she said, boy, Bella is the smallest village in Carriacou, but the cock are big.
And that quote stays today. Bella is small, but he got big.
The Bella is small, but them people cock are big.
Yes.
That means big shit to come out in the backside. And well, it goes for Carriacou, for the whole of Carriacou.
I was about to say that, you know.
Whole of Carriacou, but that lady is the one who, she uniquely said that.
Yes, and it's still today.
Still today.
Yes.
A lot of people wouldn't know that.
Right.
I know it.
Right.
Maybe because Nylin will know it.
Right.
And maybe Sonny Logan. That's it.
Okay. Yeah. But Mr. Jackson, before we wrap up, when you came by us to serenade Christmas Day, I heard you give some speeches.
Yeah.
You're a man of many words.
Yeah.
I want to give us one on camera.
Oh, take a deep breath.
Take a deep
One?
breath.
He has several.
Several, but well, all of them good, huh?
Yes. So give us all them.
No, I can't give up. I need a rum.
Mr. Jack have to be there.
Yeah. Boy,
you just entered my home.
Oh, yeah.
So, Christmas Day, you just entered my home. So we're good on where to go. Let's go.
Well, there are so many of them coming up to me. Oh. Okay. Mistress and Master. No, I didn't want to say that.
You don't want to say that one?
Oh, God. Which one am I saying? Wait, let me, when I get to one.
Okay.
Oh, yes. Mistress and master, when I look around my banner to see how few and well chosen we are, it caused me to use the few abbreviated words BCQMP. When I use these words BCQMP, I do not mean anything to offend you. I simply mean B for behavior, C for credit, Q for quality, M for manners, and P for prosperity.
Man, brave man.
Right? Oh God.
You'll come. I know you'll come.
Let me talk, man.
Okay.
That one is that one. Mistress and master, this lovely, sweet, kind present you give me, our banner, may the Lord return it back to you as he did in the harvest of festival. May your child, children, and grandchildren grow up and call you blessed. May every grain of you in your head be a mole of candle to shine you up to glory to you. God be with you till we meet again.
If you come in my yard and you say that, I must give you what I have, you know.
Well, when you get up here, delay. Why do you delay so long? You will allow a camel to go through the eyes of a needle than a poor man to enter the kingdom of God? Good night.
Really?
Before you say that all them lantern light up. Oh God, I ain't nothing to get. All I want is a cake.
I like that.
Oh, come back Christmas Eve night.
I like that.
Penny. You know?
Them boy want to play their speech now. They don't have no speech comparing to you.
No.
Yeah, man, the good old days of long ago.
Well, I hope you enjoy that. And there
of
is
course,
more. But
I know a lot of people viewing will enjoy
Jolly
this.
aroma the pelting some more, but
Don't worry.
No, you come back when you have one.
Yes. Bessie, any question for Mr. Jackson before we end?
No, man, Mr. Jackson. We will get him on another episode where I can. We'll talk music. He's a very good singer, you know. As you're looking at him.
And the sing one. What song? I'm singing one just now, and I said I go sing it again. Oh,
yeah.
This one is I know all the words, but it's a nice little quotation. You know, some parents have problem with the children, and they can't talk to the children. The children rude. But this is a quote which I'm going to get the book again. It's called The Royal Reader.
Royal Reader, Shakespeare.
Yeah, all never heard about it.
Yeah.
Shakespeare.
No. Royal Reader. That is a book that all children use in school. Makes you wise.
Uncle Tom connected it with Shakespeare.
Yeah, well, he has some few quotes in it from Shakespeare.
Right.
But the Royal Reader is the name of the book.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
not
think it was
Shakespeare.
printed in 1912 by Nelson or something. The first verse is like, be kind to thy mother, for when thou was young, who loved thee as fondly as thee. I'll repeat that. Be kind to thy mother or your parents, for when you were young, they love you as fondly as thee, you know, like that. So when children grow up and disobey their parents, I always think of that. If my children not behaving, my grandchildren not behaving good, and another thing is, you see, I'm walking on the road there, cleaning up my place, the drains, and a child going to school, and I will look, Manning, with us, I say, good morning, cousin Helen. Good morning, cousin so-and-so. And that. And if I did something wrong, that person could have taken me and slapped my backside.
And call your mother.
Go and tell your mother. You dare not go and tell your mother because you're getting more.
Exactly. In those days, the community raised the child.
Yes.
But
not today.
It's sad. It's sad. It's sad. Now, if you go to spank somebody's child, the mother, father, sister, brother, everybody coming to cuss you.
So
they don't even ask you a question.
Sing a few lines of love
course.
now. A mother's love you cannot forget. Wrong things you do, you bound to forget. You may have diamond, ruby, and gold, but a mother's love is the master key of them all. Goodbye.
My mommy across there looking. My mommy?
Oh, yeah. Well, my mother's right there too, you know.
Oh, really?
The stone, that's where I'm going to be buried. Oh, surely.
And you see what the short says? The messenger.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jackson.
There's a lot more where that come from.
We'll come again.
Yes.
Great discussion.
This time we would have to have a rum, you see.
And maybe we'll have to do a beach thing.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Where we could,
You know he goes fishing.
well,
No.
He loves the sea.
you know, I got the
So
jeep
that's
now.
enough.
Yeah.
I want to go in my favorite spots in Sabazan and Kane, this area.
Mm.
I have plenty hooks, but I ain't know my lines meeting and them there, but
We go find line, me and you go fishing.
rods and them, you know. So,
Alrighty, so thank you very much again. Thank you very much to our viewers for viewing. And remember, as we said in the beginning, so shall we say in the end, please like, share, comment, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to tip. Thank you very much for Basie. Thank you very much, Basie. Final words?
You're welcome. A lot of words to say.
what
Remember.
I would like to end it with, words are insufficient to express right now. Thank you for having me on your show.
Oh, what is this? I was just going to say that, but you take the words out of my mouth. Protocol has been already established. We thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Right.
Bye for now.
Have a good day.